Miami, 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 Miami. It feels like Miami.
Welcome to the Heat Beat Postgame Show. I'm your host, Giancarlo Navas. I have no idea what we're going to say today.
Ooh,
There's a lot to cover. I don't know how to feel after a Heat win. With me today, reality check master Tiffany Meeks.
I am no longer living in reality. That shit just took me all the way back. All the way back.
Back
the
to
90s.
where?
The 90s. That shit took me back to faded jeans and MC Hammer pants.
Also joining us today is the great Siobhan.
oh my goodness. I was trying to pull clips for the show and I jumped
Spare us.
in one quarter. I jumped 6 minutes and only 4 points elapsed. I said, hold on. I must have
Thank you.
am I missing stuff? It was
No,
really
Bond,
bad.
thank you for sparing us from
Save
watching
us.
that again.
Save us.
Oh, we gonna watch it.
God, give me a day. Give me a day. Let me
Yo.
put some time in between.
This shit is the
What we said
multiverse
that
of
was-
well, first of all, it's the multiverse of madness. Because this is
Girl.
ain't nothing real about this. But this was a rock fight.
with greased rocks.
A brick fight, a rock fight, whatever hard thing you want to talk, whatever. Heat win. I don't know if you could tell from our intro. Yeah, Miami Heat 87, Indiana Pacers 82. Sad win, but whatever. Win's a win, and they stink on the road. They got their fourth road win, and that's probably the amount of field goals that they had in the second quarter. Listen, I get we do these post game shows, and sometimes we're sad, sometimes we're happy. I think today, Tiff, we're laughing.
Yes.
I don't know how to feel. I guess it's funny at least.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Jokes.
What the fuck did they make us watch?
Shenanigans.
Tomfoolery. What was it? Shenanigans and tomfoolery. This is what we got.
Foolery, child.
Goddamn, what the hell was that, Tiff?
Yo, this I don't know. I literally it was like that first 5 minutes. I was like, okay, maybe we putting something together. We got a little bit of something. Exactly. That's when when you step into the
You know what I'm
club and
saying?
you
Like,
guys
okay.
you like,
Right.
okay. I'm gonna order me a gin and tonic real quick. But when you get it, it's flat.
That's real fun.
And that's exactly what just happened. So everything stopped. It was like all of a sudden we had 60 points. 10 minutes later we had 65 points. And at that point, I was just like, fuck it. I can't call it. We had Jimmy and Bam. How many people we have in double figures tonight? Two?
I
Two.
think, yeah,
Jimmy and Bam.
I believe so.
Max had 9.
Look at you, Max.
Caleb
Look at you,
had 9.
Max.
Coming
Max.
through.
Max, the streets want you gone for Jay Crowder.
Tyler
Get
had
Girl.
8.
together.
Tyler had 8. Kyle had 8.
Together.
Vic,
Caleb had 9.
listen,
What
Vic
did
had
Dedman have?
Deadman had 6 and
5?
6, and I believe
6.
Deadman team
I ain't mad.
plus 4.
Hey,
Ooh.
okay.
Big hot plus 8.
Listen,
Came
Everybody
through.
was a plus.
listen. I saw a chat.
Well,
Crap said, "Glad the bench finally strung together a decent stretch to close out the game." Listen,
These jokes. I don't do bits. I can never know.
but Bot's like, I don't. This is too much performance. Listen, we're all jokes today, but
Yeah.
let's talk hoops a little bit, just a little bit. So their offense, we're gonna get into both sides of the ball, the offense and the defense. Bond, let's start with their offense. It fell off. The wheels fell off in a rather emphatic way.
Let me just say something, G, to Bond, because I'm sorry, but they was on a unicycle.
Them wheels got hijacked. They walked back to the car, and the whole car was on cinder blocks.
But
What wheels?
I have a question. You are a basketball mind that many people respect. You are. Whose podcast were you on this week? You're on big time.
Shout out to Mark Schindler. Hey, Mark. Hey, Sabria.
Bond's out here on these basketball streets, on Hoopstresses, on all these platforms as a former
Fighting for my life, trying to defend us.
a former fucking player. Bond, explain to me on God's green earth, on Al Gore's internet, why the hell do they just decide that we're not going to run any offense? We're gonna guard screen and handoff between each other so that Indiana can switch. Our bigs, we're gonna decide. You guys don't have to do anything because we got this. And we gotting this means going side to side for fucking 20 seconds and then taking a contested three. Can you explain to me why does this happen?
It's really fun. Like, I know this team believes that it's good and that it has the pieces and all of these things. But like you've seen, like Jimmy's be like, yo, we're not that good. I don't know if that UD quote was confirmed or not.
Well, no, Jimmy said we're winning a championship. So I don't. Jimmy's hot and cold.
But before that, like the team,
Jimmy's like every girl I've ever dated.
So, but like, I don't know why they do good things. They do the habits. They do all of the good stuff, like discipline, effortless switches, like constant communication, motion on offense. We got one person ISOing over here, but the other four are doing something. Like they do like 9 minutes worth of the things. And then it's like, all right, fuck it. We know we can do it. We all right. Like,
that's what it feels like.
And then go,
Right.
And then go, just like they just needed to see and know that it could work, not that they actually have to continue to apply it to get the wins. Like, I don't know why we stop everything. We stopped the motion. We stopped looking inside. The first quarter, it was motion and it was directional, like intended. That the dump offs were there. They were crisp. I don't know what they just got sloppy. They walked back outside and like all the wheels was taken off.
the cars on cinder blocks.
The cars on cinder blocks. Like what happened? And that bitch was nice too. And how we came back wheelless.
That was a nice. Bond's right. That was a nice car. You just got her cleaned. You're looking good. You're driving with confidence.
Listen,
it's
a Friday evening. It feels nice in the city. What?
Beautiful.
Got your windows down.
Beautiful Weather. A Miami December. That kind of weather. Tiff.
Fuck you.
I had a coffee and a lox bagel outside today for breakfast. Oh, it was great. I walked to the gym. Oh, it was fantastic. Tiff.
I love that for you.
Tiff, it's frustrating because we see, as Bond said, like we see what they do in the first kind of quarter and change, and then everything kind of falls apart. The whole second half until the last minute and 2.5 minutes, then Jimmy starts pulling jack after jack. I'm like, where the fuck was this? Like the biggest troll on planet Earth. I'm like, you were bricking. I was really mad at Jimmy. I know there's, I made a joke tweet. It's like everybody's mad at a different dude. I was mad at Jimmy for just getting under the basket, letting the second guy come, and then just wait, and then all of a sudden turns it up. I know that you always say, when people show you who they are, listen. I can't even take a positive from tonight, and I'm usually the sunshine pumper around here, but these motherfuckers, I can't trust them. I don't know what to make of them. And then I don't want to. And then they do they keep turning the ball over. Then Miles Turner's big ass footsteps out of bounds, and Tyler's fucking volleyball flopping into the baseline. The fuck is wrong? Jimmy misses 2 free throws. I'm like, what is Ashton Kutcher gonna burst out of Spo's suit? Like, am I getting pranked?
No.
There has to be a reason.
No. I mean, you can't trust them. Like, I wouldn't let them watch my shoes right now. Like, there's just like no redeemable, like, oh, I can see this moving forward. Well, there is. I'll circle back to that.
We should have started with positives, but fuck it. Negatives are funnier.
No.
Negatives are funnier.
We're here.
We're here.
Authentic.
We're here.
Remember, the car's on cinder blocks. We can't go anywhere.
Exactly. We ain't going nowhere.
We're already here. Like,
and somebody siphoned the gas, so we done.
And it's cold.
No, but seriously, like, I don't know why Jimmy waits because they need help. Like, I don't know why Jimmy waits. And the idea is, yeah, like you could see in the beginning, Kyle was having a good floor game. Tyler was playing a good floor game. It- At some point, though, they need to start to have to recognize when the floor game needs to shift.
Yes. Yes. That's what's missing. Yes.
More like this is a huge problem with this team. While they're an intelligent team, they're not an intelligent team. Like there are areas where it's just mental. Like, all right, I'm passing. But once you start seeing them creeping back in the game, start making your imprint on the game in other ways. Like, don't just sit back and wait for Jimmy, who obviously decided to dust off his cape in the last 2 minutes. Like, you can't always wait for Jimmy. And needless to say, if you're a starter in this league, you got to be a starter. You can't just sit back and be whole hum.
And sometimes like that carries, it feels like for me at least, that like kind of nonchalantness at some points with the offense. Like after it shuts down, it feels like, so you're talking about like be sharper, be crisper, but like you'll have maybe 5 possessions earlier where there was low key a lot of overpassing, but they managed to like get away with
that's
it.
The trick.
We got a bucket. We got right.
That's
and
the
so
trick.
like it's about like noticing like, okay, like we came away with this point or whatever, but like that possession didn't feel clean. It didn't feel like, that's when you got to start shutting that bit of game down quicker so that you don't get to like.
How do you recognize it? You understand what I'm saying? Like, how do you in the moment recognize that we got away with one?
You have to read the energy
I'm kind of like
of the game, the momentum.
I used to think that they'd have a good win like against the Blazers on the road at the time where the Blazers were playing really, really good basketball. Or, against Phoenix, at home where they kind of come back and they really pulled it together and they kind of do the things that they do well. Against the Celtics, both times really, because I thought even the game they lost, they looked really good. They have some wins that you think, okay, now the season starts. And then they have a week like last week. And I think tonight's super emblematic that, they win that game. And it's funny, when they were entering the fourth, I was thinking nothing short of Indiana not scoring a single, even if Indiana didn't score a single point this whole fourth quarter, I'd walk away mad. Like if the Heat went on like a 30-0 fourth quarter run, I would still come into the show being like, what the fuck was that? And they can't not just put together good weeks of basketball, they can't put together a whole fucking 4 quarters of it.
Yeah.
So it's like
fourth quarter games, halves.
right. Minutes.
Because at times you guys are right. They look like a really good team. And I understand that they have holes to fill. And, obviously I thought they were good last season. I thought they were good. And, whether or not wheels came off this season, last season, I did feel like in that moment, those guys were good. And everything's kind of, come back down to the level. Everybody's kind of settled into more of who they are. Maybe that's unfair. Maybe they're better than this. Maybe they're in between, somewhere between last season and this season. But it does feel a bit of like, you wake up from the dream and it's really the worst possible scenario that they can't. This is untenable for them. Tiff?
No, it is, and but that was the question I had coming into this season. How would it all come back together? Because it's okay for people to think some people played over their heads last year and like all these things. But the reality is that like you need all these pieces to be doing certain things. And sometimes they got to switch on and off. Bam might need to be scoring at some point. Tyler might need to take over the scoring. But like you realize that even still you're smaller, you're at a deficit, your bench is at a deficit. Like your top 4 guys literally need to be carrying you every night. And that doesn't mean Jimmy has to get 30 every night. But between those top 4, these are wins that should be easy. Absolutely. no shade, but these are wins that like shouldn't come down to the last 35 seconds. Like
And you know what?
they,
These should have been like professional wins. The first
yep,
half I tweeted, they felt like a professional team. They
yep,
felt like they were going about the business of like, all right, we got to stop fucking around. Like it's time
yep,
to actually tighten stuff up. Nut up or shut up. We got most of the team. Gabe, you need to come back. But when you come back, find some consistency. We like are mostly whole, and so
yep.
like we need to start stretching and stringing together good stuff.
And they got productive minutes out of Dedmon. I thought he was less
Yeah.
involved in everything they did in the second half, but whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's not like he was the
Right.
problem. Where a lot of days, you could say, okay, Bam can't sit because this motherfucker's just getting cooked. That wasn't
Yeah.
the case today.
Right.
And it's just unfortunate that you get one of those nights. I thought Depot gave them, didn't do working his way back, but I thought this is gonna sound corny, but like I thought some of the rebounds were very timely, athletic. He was
Yeah.
kind of pushing. He had a couple nice passes in transition. I liked what he gave them. And obviously we talked about that and all that stuff. So it was just a frustrating win because Bond is right. They looked professional. Let's talk about their defense because the boy was today a defense first game. They did a little bit of a lot. They did some zone, which looked good. They lost the plot a bit in the second quarter and in that third quarter. And they do the overhelp thing. And I thought they settled back into what they know. And I liked when they gave looks, Tiff with Bam at the top of the zone. I liked when they were switching. I really mostly didn't have much issue with the defense. I don't think it was like great because I just think Indiana's, they're not that guy pal. But I thought what they did to Haliburton was really good. I thought the help was particularly good from the guards.
Right.
I thought
Yeah.
that Kyle had a couple plays where, and I know he deserves to be killed for his offense performance, but I thought on defense, the way he was helping trapping guys in corners, I thought the surprise traps. So Tiff, I'm throwing a lot at you, but they did a lot tonight, and some of it worked and some of it didn't.
Gee, they did a lot tonight.
They did a lot.
Literally, there is a lot happening. There's still, the Pacers scored 82, but there's something that felt flat about the defense in certain areas. What I will say is I liked the guards helping down low. Like they looked fresher tonight when they were like trapping underneath, when they were rotating underneath. Kyle, Tyler, Max, Vic, like they looked a lot better tonight, especially under the basket than they did in the previous game. But there is just I think what keeps bothering me is that we just when these guards are coming up and they're bringing the ball up, we are just allowing them to get to their spots. Like they're getting to their spots on us. They're getting to those 15-foot jumpers they like. They're getting to those little baseline moves. Like we're not really deterring people from getting to their spots.
That's kind of what I mean by I think their defense doesn't have the same bite that it did last season, and I think part of that is that I think Bond they let tonight. I thought that that kind of run Indiana got comfortable in it. It was mostly them getting stuff at the rim. It was kind of them getting penetration, and then any 3-pointer they got was off a driving kick. Obviously, they did a good job on Haliburton, but the other kid, Nemhard, did a good job of kind of getting penetration, beating their man, kind of kicking out. It's not like they had a ton of assists as a team, and Haliburton did have 6 assists, even though he had 1 point. But they were kind of schmooving the ball a bit. I do think ultimately, like throughout the course of the night, the game plan worked, and I think their plan, Bond, was to limit Haliburton kind of being the gun or the piston to their engine. And they're like, okay, well, we'll kind of surprise trap and do all these things. And I thought it was ultimately good. I liked the plan. I don't know how you feel.
Now that you say it out loud, like I don't know that I picked up on that could have been what their intention was, like that is what the plan was. But that makes sense, right? He's a dynamic playmaker. He's a ball mover. He finds guys.
He's the thing that scares you.
Like 11 assists.
Yeah, he's nice with it.
Go ahead, G. Say what you were gonna say.
No, I was just like agreeing.
No, I
with you.
wanted to hear you. He's the thing that scares you.
Yeah, oh, yeah, he's
Like
he's
in
the
an
thing that
opposing guard.
like he's the thing on that because like really, all those other guys on like maybe Buddy Hield scares you, but I think they seem pretty
To a
okay.
lesser degree.
They seem content with letting Hield kind of do what he wanted because I really feel like they're like, okay, well this guy, he may get his and he might shoot the ball well and he might have a couple. He's not like a great finisher, and I think you saw that at times that he was able to kind of get to the cup off harder closeouts and he was missing stuff. He's not and really they're like, well, if he's just gonna go off, he's like an isolated guy. If Haliburton gets in a rhythm, he's gonna kill you scoring. He's gonna move the ball and he's gonna control the tempo. And to be honest with you, it's funny. I thought T.J. McConnell controlled the tempo of the game more than he did. Which is funny, which is kind of just fucking T.J. McConnell. But yeah, to me he was always the guy that can beat you.
Yeah. No, I agree, and it like I said, it makes sense with that being like how they wanted to go out or deploy the defense. They got to get back to disallowing penetration, and I don't know that they ever actually like weren't allowing penetration at any point in the season, and so we're back playing more man, given that we have some bodies back, Big being someone that's supposed to be a defensive body. And, we're doing more man. And I thought at portions of the game, like the man looked really good. They were like seamless, very perfectly timed and executed switches. Guys faking like they were, about to shoot up, go back. Very, very well executed defense. And again, at points. And, I don't know that the zone is the defense that they want to deploy throughout the whole rest of the season into the playoffs or whatever, but they have to, for all of the things that I dislike about the zone, especially again, the 2-3, the other ones you're able to at least kind of create some type of doming outside at like the top most outer part of the arc. I don't like that 2-3, but like they have to, I think, be able to put together stretches like more consistent, longer stretches of good man, or then it's his own forever. And then, you're going to eventually have that figured out. I pulled up one clip and they don't do it a lot. I noticed that they did it the Boston game. They did it again tonight. Like it's a real strange looking, it's like a 1-1-3. It was the final possession to close the first quarter. And I'm not entirely sure.
Is it what they do when like other teams are kind of in like semi transition? That look?
No, the ball. No, not the, well. At least not in this game because they, Indiana was running it out, so like they were set.
Okay.
But I'd actually be interested to talk about it later with you or whatever. But like, I don't know. All in all, they have to get their man back tight, and they have to limit penetration. Got to limit driving kicks. We're already always small. So we can't be small and porous. They have to pick a struggle.
So it's like, Tiff, they, and I thought tonight was that's funny. I thought tonight was a good example of that. And they're like, okay, well, we know that fast guards are just going to beat our guys. And that's just the reality that they've existed in since LeBron left. They have really not had a guy except for Winslow. That's not fair. Winslow, after, when Winslow was defending kind of guards, any other speedy guard was just fucking him up, right? And it's why De'Aaron Fox has a fucking field day every time he plays the Heat. Right. He's like, oh man, baby, my time. He's Ben Gordon back in the day, Tiff. Remember? Just they zoom, and so they're helping from corners, and they're getting those kickouts. I saw somebody in chat. Overzeal Arch is like opponents dribble forward in Miami, kind of backpedal seems like a philosophy. I do think that ultimately they don't want to put too much pressure on the ball because they're scared of fouling. They've really brought down fouls this year, which I don't like. I thought Indiana was super physical under the basket, and Miami was killing them on the boards. And that kind of got evened out as the game progressed because Indy was like, they're not going to fucking call everything. And they were just straight up pushing, like not giving a shit. And it's like, I dare you to call this every time. And credit to them because that's what the Heat used to do to people. It was PJ fucking elbows, it was, Jimmy tiger kneeing people in the, in the thigh, whatever it takes. And they kind of lost that. And I think that kind of shows in their defense, but they're more kind of help recover kind of those principles. What were you going to say, Mon?
And that's where your bite. That's where some of your bite went. And
Yeah.
like PJ
Yep.
is definitely one of their help and recover guys. But you cannot overstate like a defensive IQ and an understanding of what an offense is trying to kind of look to do. And so he's good at like calling things ahead, and like it helps you. I don't. You stay more energized. You stay
Right.
more active. Your moves, your cuts, all of those things feel sharper. It's a different. You feel backed and
Right.
supported in kind of a different way, which like subconsciously makes you kind of lock in a little bit more too.
I want to say something to chat before we move on. D Sizzle 1990 says, "Do the Heat regret not trading for Donovan Mitchell?" And I'm going to address this once, and we're going to move on. I think you guys need to understand that trading takes two people to say yes.
They was never getting it.
You guys,
Right.
Jesus
you need
Christ.
two parties to say that. Let's dance.
You want this? No, I don't. But you want this?
No, I don't
No,
want
I
that.
But
Exactly.
You
I'm
want this?
gonna ask you tomorrow if you want this.
Hold on, wait. Hold on. You want this now?
I would
That's
really,
right.
really like Zach Lowe on this podcast. That doesn't
Right.
that doesn't mean anything. I would really like Nikias on this podcast.
Oh damn!
I love you, Nikias. That's my guy. I love him. Shout out to Duggar Spot, Nikias, Steve, Tiff.
Yes.
Let's close out the show with some positives. Okay, it's the holiday
right.
season. Christmas is coming. Gamer chairs might be being sent in the mail. Who knows? Well, let's talk some positive. Let's listen. Let's talk some positives. I thought Bam continued to look good today. My frustration was really with Jimmy, Tyler, and Kyle not running offense for him. Right? Bam came to fucking play. He hates Miles Turner. He hates Miles Turner so much that hell or high water, that man could be in a cast and he'll drop 20 and 10. He'll do it dead. He doesn't care. He fucking hates that man. And he showed up. He was aggressive. He looked for his looks. I thought, even when he missed some of the looks, he didn't get deterred.
Yep.
He was trying to go.
Yep.
He was really in the bag. Face ups, post ups, roll man, jump shot. Got to the line a ton. Was looking for contact. Tiff, super good all around game. The rebounding, big time. Was super physical with him. I loved what I saw from him, and really, other than Jimmy's little fourth quarter fury, one of the only positive things you could take from tonight.
Yeah, Bam came ready to play. And a lot of it seemed like the way he was running his offense was unassisted because he was just like, I'm not getting it. I'm crashing the boards. Like he just was all over the place. He had a lot of good defense out top. Like this season, Bam is playing very well. Yeah, he had a couple of games where it looked like he slowed down. But overall, like he's having a really, really good season. You can't really, you can't nitpick him. You can't take anything away from him. He's doing the best that he can. with the current,
he's literally
with what he got.
That CJ McCollum tweet. I'm trying, Jennifer.
I'm trying. Right. Bam is really looking at this team and he's like, I'm trying, Heat. I'm trying.
Like they're talking about getting Jimmy some help. Get my man some.
Exactly. Like I always say this. It doesn't matter to me if Bam leads them in scoring, but they need to run most of the offense through Bam.
They don't need him to lead.
Junior high players know you go inside out. Like if you're in junior high, kids know this, but for some reason we're still just passing around the perimeter and looking for the worst 3-point attempt and taking it. Like I have no idea what's happening.
Tiff, how many times
Meanwhile,
did they pass
Bam
out
is
of shit? How many times did they pass out of advantage?
Yep. And Bam is posting.
Goes along with that overpassing shit.
Yep.
It's too giving. They're too much in the Christmas. They're always in the Christmas.
Yes, they're giving. Ho ho ho.
Overly philanthropic. The thing that is most important for me and what I've liked over these last few games is the question. For me, the question wasn't could Bam. It's like when is he going to, and then is he still going to when the rest of them are here? And what I've appreciated is his insistence in not like hiding and not removing himself from his usage with Jimmy being back and Jimmy figuring, his ways and his timing, his spots and those things out. And
Right.
again, in the first quarter, it felt like, yeah, Jimmy was back. We got the guys back, but let's continue to play toward the rim. Let's continue to
Right.
play, fucking train. Let's keep going that way. And then, we stop. But I'm happy that Bam has continued to not to stay where he is. He's like,
Right.
he feels firmly planted and okay, I'm the one, at worst 1B scoring option, very worst 2, and I'm not settling for
Right.
anything after that. Like I'm one of your main guys, and I have to be. I can't hide, I can't fade when the rest of them are here and are playing well. That's what's been important to me.
What Fig said is hype train at Bond's house.
Hey,
I was gonna say the bandwagon.
Yeah.
The bandwagon's
The
passing by.
bandwagon.
it's just Bam and Bond
Listen.
just kicking it.
Bam and Bond. Oh, Bam
Oh,
and
look at
Bond.
that. Tiff, I don't. I think they've put him in a position where they need him to be a number one scorer some nights, and I don't really think that's
Yes.
good. That's like his most comfortable role. I think number 2, number 3. Yo, Siobhan, you disagree?
What you said, to be
Like-
to have
like,
to
I
be,
don't think
or
his-
like to be an assertion.
Yeah, I don't think like his natural role is to like lead a team in scoring.
Oh no, it's not.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
No.
Maybe not lead, but like show
Right.
out and play.
Like,
Yeah,
dog,
no,
get
not
22, but like I don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't need you to get like what Shaq wants him to get fucking 30 and 20. Like
Right. But that's
I
the
want
thing.
him, but see, that's the thing. Go ahead.
we all want him to get 30 and 20,
Right.
but like
But he can do it and not showboaty way. Like he can do it in a way that's
Yeah.
not like as he tween. That so playing
Right.
it the way that he should be able to play it, he can do that. My bad.
And you think about what he did tonight. What did he have? What was his numbers tonight?
It was 20 and 17 on 8 of 18 shooting, but I don't care. He was 8 of 7 from the line.
But the point is that he did all of that without people looking for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my point. Like it could be there, but the whole thing is what I'm saying is that you don't need Bam to lead you in scoring every night. But what you do need, he needs to get his touches, and you should facilitate through him, because you know it can work. But like him not touching the ball for like 5 possessions in a row, that's criminal.
Yeah.
And I will say that Bond, when they, when they were, the first time they had the bench unit in the first half, they looked good. And then, like early on, and then toward the kind of the late third, early fourth, they kind of came in and it started off okay, right? The Depot, Tyler both got some buckets. They looked fine, and then they kind of really fell flat. Bam comes in the game for Dedmon, and all of a sudden there's action, there's screening, there's kind of downhill motion, and it kind of jumped off the page, and not much came from that. But fuck if he was trying.
Right.
Yeah. Look, listen, Jennifer. Like, no, I'm just as they continue to get more time together. Like we talked about Vic earlier, quickly. Like not eye-popping numbers, and it's not going to be yet.
He's working
but
his way back.
Every game with him is about progress and production, and like feeling more and more comfortable and just knowing that he's in himself. They are feeling a little bit more intentional with just like his incorporation. So Bam, Dedmon, whatever, kind of those machinations are, there's shit there, but like they have to continue to be intentional with what they're trying to do.
Absolutely. So listen, we take the win. They need to, I'm done saying this is a wake up call. Eventually they're either going to do it or they're not. This is, Eric Spoelstra said at the beginning of this week, today, said that we know that this is a big week for us. And they got to win games. They got to close out the year, on a winning streak. They need to put together a stretch of basketball that they can go into 2023 and say, okay, well, we're not pathetic. Because at this point, you're fighting for your pride. Like, it's like legit, like your pride's on the line, because like it's not like you're winning a title or anything. And I think even if you kind of came out and you were a 4 seed and didn't win a title, I don't think anybody's like mad at you, because everybody understands the limitations with the cap.
Hold up.
Yeah,
you can't be fighting for 12.
you can't be. Yeah, what you got, Tiff?
Timeout. Time out. Let's reverse that. Everybody don't understand.
That's true. No, absolutely true.
Let's talk
that's
like
true.
we're talking to 5-year-olds.
Ho, ho,
Everybody
ho.
That's
don't
true.
understand.
That's true.
Because let's be honest. Like, so a lot of people need to take long looks in the mirror when they're like talking about this team. Like,
Correct.
these are the players that you got. It serves you nothing to be mad at Duncan. This is like it gives you
Who?
nothing to be mad.
What are we
Exactly.
doing with that? Like, why are we even?
Right. But
Who
I'm
is
just
she?
saying, like,
No, I
why are
get
we
you.
mad at what
I know.
you can't be mad at any of them. This is who you got.
Regardless, I just they just gotta fucking not be. They just gotta not be pathetic, right?
That's it.
I think we agree. Like, they
That's
just
it.
gotta not embarrass. But they just gotta just come out there and be a respectable basketball team.
Oh no, I'm
you
weak
asking
because
a lot,
I
though.
agree.
Yeah.
And the thing
You
is, like,
you
why
asking
are
a
we
lot.
here? But try to tell, like, you are
You
asking for a
asking
lot.
you
But
asking a
again,
lot.
we shouldn't be here. Like, even in asking for that much, we shouldn't be like fighting
Come on,
for like
Bond.
to not be pathetic.
Bond.
Oh no. Oh,
As Deborah
I'm
Cox
I'm
said,
aware of
you,
the.
Deborah Cox
I
said
know
you're
how
not
this
supposed to
roster is
be
structured.
here, but
Look,
you
listen,
know how we
we
got
didn't start
here.
this heat game for some.
I'm not
Yeah, no,
even
like I'm
asking.
not disillusioned. Well, I'm not disillusioned by this group. So
But
What you not asking,
I'm
G?
not even asking guys for like a nice aesthetically nice product. I just, you know what I mean?
I don't even care.
I don't
Listen,
care
some of the
either.
best.
Look like.
I just don't want to be at
Listen.
my friend's wedding, huddled around a fucking phone, watching them lose to the Spurs, and we all just kind of look at each other and we're just like, man, fuck these people. Let's get another shot at tequila. Like, I don't want that.
And that's what you should
You
be
know what's
doing,
funny?
more of that.
They played Peppers at this wedding, and I go, turn that shit off. Nobody here deserves
They
that.
played. They played
Listen.
Peppers in Indiana.
Did they?
That's why Miami won. They played Peppers.
The only reason.
Barely won.
That's cultural appropriation.
They play Peppers everywhere now.
That's cultural
Like,
appropriation.
all
I don't
over.
like white people doing that. Stay off our shit.
Very
Gee.
Indiana white people too.
Yeah, Indiana is. I'm not going there. I ain't touching it.
Stay away.
Yep. G.
Yes.
One thing you need to see happen before the All-Star break.
What a great question. I need to see their 3-point percentage show a sign of life. Because I think I think legitimately without a personnel change, this is about what their defense is going to be. I think that they're just, as we've talked about a lot, they're too small. And I understand the schematical change to be a little bit less aggressive because they can't afford one of their wings or their bigs to get in foul trouble. That's a disaster because of how thin they are. So without a personnel change, I don't think that's changing. Their 3-point shooting needs to show an iota of life for them to have any kind of chance to be respectable. Bon.
I think I'm going to agree because of everything that you said. Void a personnel change. This is what they have, and their shooting feels like the most malleable, the thing most in their control, or like the easiest to turn around. Max was 3 for 12 tonight, off from 3. Again, when Gabe
were
has
in
been
distress.
healthy, he hasn't been good.
He's shooting.
Not all of them.
Real quick, guys.
That's
Go ahead, Tiff. Tiff, go ahead.
no. Go ahead, G.
I wanted to touch on that real quick. That I put that in my notes, but I forgot. Max is reminding me a little bit about Duncan last year in the sense of he looks a little bit too rushed and too in distress. He's a good shooter. He's competing on defense. I like Max, and I think he's a good player, and I think everybody wanting to ship Max to Mars. Let's slow the fuck down. Let's give him a chance. Let's let him have a bad stretch and let him figure it out. But he looks a little bit too rushed, and I think he's getting in his own head. And I wanted you guys' more player perspective on that.
Well,
Go ahead, Tiff.
I mean, I'm scraping 5'7", so pretty much all I was doing was shooting. I mean, to be honest, I was the type of person that I knew my spots on the floor, and I always tried to get to my spots. And I like to be comfortable when I shoot. I don't like to be rushed. I don't like I I don't like bad passes. If you pass it to me and it is down by my knees, like I'm the type of person. If I catch it off the ground like that and I still got to shoot it, I probably miss the next three
I'm not gonna
because
shoot it
now I'm still
because
thinking
you fucked
about
me up.
well. But here's the thing though: if I'm against the clock, I'm shooting it.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's and see that all those things play a part. Like I always was dogged on defense, so my defense never swayed with the offense. But if I was just a lot of shooters, they depend if they're not hitting, the defense is trash. Like I was defense first, and then I'm gonna shoot. But like I didn't like to be rushed. I didn't like to be out of my comfort zone. I like the ball in the pocket where I like it. I don't like it over my like that. Some people can catch the ball anywhere, gather it, shoot it, and it means nothing. Some people can miss 5 and hit the next 4. Shooting is such it plays with the psychosis. If you're hot, you're hot. If you're not, you hear the whispers. I think with Max is shooting like dog shit, but we also can't discount the other things that are happening. Him getting the ball with 3 seconds left on the clock, and now he's dribbling. First of all, Max, no, I don't want to try to see you dribbling.
It's too much dribbling.
It's too much. They're putting him in the role of a playmaker and creating his own shot too many times.
I don't really think he's a motion shooter either, which like.
And that's what I was about to say, G.
Yep.
You compare them to Duncan. Duncan is more of
but
a
they're
motion
different.
shooter
Yeah.
But Max isn't.
I feel like it's been less spot ups. He's shooting a good percentage on spot ups this year.
Yeah,
I mean, not as good as last
year.
Not as good as last year.
Opportunities,
but good.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, tonight the cleanest look was the one in the corner. He was spotted up.
The 2 in the corner. Because didn't he had the one where
both sides. He spotted up. He waited. He got it in his pocket, and it was clean.
By the way,
like,
Kyle too.
Yeah,
that one in the corner was off a kick out, and he was open, and he didn't have to relocate there. He was just there, caught the ball, went up, and Max same.
It's like they are two different motion. Like Duncan's a motion shooter, Max isn't, and it's almost as if Duncan would be maybe better served just throughout this kind of stretch that they're having right now. Like guys are recovering, guys are closing to them quicker. There's not like this like cacophony of thing happening offensively. So they're like dudes are already near enough to try to like stun and recover or whatever. Right. And then the main person doesn't have too much further to like come in and close out too. So I just feel like without like some more or like continued and varied action, like they were running like double like diagonal back screens and a bunch of other stuff that they haven't run, and I feel like
that was like what they did those things in like 2020. They were like doing, and I felt like they reverted back to some of that. But I was watching it, and it felt like that, but except without the purpose. Because, like, even back then, they would be like, okay, well, let's get a big in this kind of thing that we're doing, right? And even if the guard is kind of screening, low, and then somebody comes off, you really have the big up top to kind of the ultimate last guy that the guard's going to come off, so that's less switchable. And you, at the very least, you force the big up to the level. And today they were just like I said earlier, it was just like guard handoff to like guard screen to pin down from a guard. And I'm like, they're just switching that.
They're doing so many ghost screens. Like they're not like, and I know the ghost screens always been a piece of their offense. They're doing so many slip screens. And like last season, there was some of that, but that is predictable. Last season, there was some of that, but they were also from a guard point, like actually laying wood, like they were setting screens and then making their reads and their splits and stuff off of that. So, I get not worried, but like I get upset like the Max, the open ones. Not even upset, but I'm like, damn, I need you to have that one. But I agree with you, G. If they turn that is the most immediate thing that they can correct.
Tiff, what were you gonna say?
No, it's funny because I was thinking about what you guys were saying earlier, and I was gonna have Bond elaborate a little bit on like what that means when there's nothing else happening and you catch the ball as a shooter. Like when the offense is stagnant, nobody's moving, and everybody's just crowded right in that area.
Yeah, like all the attention is on you, and not that like it's not. I mean, you're playing a basketball game. You're on a court. You're in front of people. There's attention on you, but it's a different level of attention. It's like all the eyes are happening. No one, like I said, no one's moving, and so the defense doesn't have to move. So like the little, you can affect the shooter. You can affect almost any motion on the court with like small, subtle digs. And so it's like shooters are trying to go up, and people, less than 3 feet away are stunning enough to like throw off. It's a lot that's there, and they don't help themselves, or Max or Duncan for that matter, by just not doing other things while we're trying to get into threes. The hammer screens you like to talk about all the time, a bunch of that shit will help too, and they're not doing any of that.
They're just like, excuse my French, they're just so up their ass. It's fucking annoying.
Their
Bro,
own, like,
I'm not
in a what type of way? Ooh, give me that. Go on. Give
I'm
me
not.
some.
Listen, I'm a fucking
Right.
fat guy who's sitting in a fucking room with a bunch of anime shit. And after I finish this call, I'm gonna send this to my producer, and I'm gonna go watch anime. I should not be recognizing these problems before the motherfucker sitting on the bench. That shit. Come on, guys. Who am I? You know what I mean? Who am I? Like, in reality, they're just like, they're in their own ass. Like, it's like, today was so emblematic of that, Siobhan, because there was something so clearly that worked. It was, let's get a big, even if Turner's in the action, who gives a fuck? He's fouling a lot. Get him in the action and get something downhill. And if he wants to fucking step up on the guard, that's it. Because those other dudes are not helping from the corner. I don't care. They're too small and they're slow. I don't give a shit if TJ McConnell's kind of digging in. I don't care. So, and it's like, they just didn't do it. Right? They were like, they did
the baseline cutter. They were hitting
Yeah.
earlier, like they were timely, and they were giving them. And
then the other thing that they were like, you know what? Let's not run band pick and roll. Let's get Jimmy let's set a middle screen in like the paint. Let's get Jimmy from side to side, and let's let him catch the ball in the mid post for the 15th time, and then nobody move. And I'm like,
and it stopped.
and then
It stops.
That's, I mean, you guys can say more than I do. It just feels like when your offense is shit, the last thing you want to do is a fucking isolation where nobody moves. Seems like the worst possible thing. Your legs are heavy, pressure's on. That's what you want.
Listen, you at least gotta fake it.
Right.
Bro, I don't know.
Move
It's
around.
just,
Move it around. You
it's
take it. You take
frustrating.
it.
It's like they don't know what the fuck they want to do, and it's like every day they wear a different hat. It's like a fucking wheel, right? It's like they spin the
they
wheel.
won't commit to
Fuck are we doing
how
today?
they have to play.
Yeah, I mean that's why. At least the defense.
That's how they get ready in the back tunnel, G. They have it together.
Spin it. They spin it.
And then at halftime they do it again.
Right.
That thing's rigged. I'm telling you, that's Chris Quinn's fault. He's not like spinning hard enough.
It's loaded.
Hashtag fire Chris Quinn. Eventful show, as I promised. This is maybe the longest one we've done yet, but we had a good time. We had fun. I do want to say, Bond has never looked more like a coach. She has the jacket all zipped up and arms crossed. Arms crossed, the watch, just, she looks like she's about to tell some motherfuckers what they did wrong on film.
They be stressing me out.
I'm telling you, you have the whole. You
about
look more like
you about to
coaches.
call the challenge on the whole season.
I'm about to do wind
I got
sprints for something that I didn't even know I did wrong.
We're running double suicides. I got a LaSalle jacket and Norfolk State sweatpants on.
Bond, you look like the kind of coach
style.
that when these kids run suicides or whatever, and if they're not running hard enough, you'll run to show them how to do it. That's
once maybe.
Oh God.
That would have been me in my younger year.
Right.
Like me as a personality to coach now. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I did.
Yo,
that.
you on the sidelines yelling, touch the line, touch the line.
I'm definitely touching.
I see you cheating.
My line.
Touch
I'm not
the
even gonna say it out
line.
loud. We're gonna
Don't
finish
cheat
like
my line.
you cheated my line, right? Come on, give me one more. Then go back to what you were doing.
I think
I saw you.
Bond.
I was looking right at you.
The next time you're in Miami, we may need to do content where you are my personal trainer for like a day. I feel like that'd be hilarious.
Oh my God.
Just fucking
I
Bond.
need to
me
be there
flipping the
and film
tire.
it.
Me going
need to
into
be there
fucking
and film
cardiac arrest. Bond. One more, damn
Can we
it.
please?
I'm gonna do the
Set the
slow
camera
mo.
at half court, and it'll
The
be G
slow-mo
just running
pan.
in, like pass.
Bond has me
gonna be
doing
the
fucking
slow-mo.
shooting drills.
I'm
We get
gonna
a
get that
parachute.
Morgan Freeman voiceover, and this
We
is
get-
where G died.
It'd be great.
We're getting resistance bands. It's
Oh,
going to
God.
Coach Carter.
Jesus Christ. I'm gonna die. The last thing before I die is gonna be drip drop. Okay. I'll tell one story from the Christian Hernandez Heat Beat wedding before we get out of here. Bonus for you guys who stuck so late. Brass and I and Brian were just standing on the beach. We're enjoying the sun. We're all a little hungover from the welcome party. We're just we just kind of like stand there, close our eyes, and like take in the breeze, waft in the sea breeze. We have this moment of silence where we all kind of are one with the world. And in the distance, I hear drip drop. We look up. It's fucking Moose in a kayak in the horizon.
In a kayak?
In the
Fucking
kayak.
in the middle of the ocean, fucking yelling at us at shore.
That is hilarious.
It was.
I wanted to. That was a real bromancy scene you just set up there.
It was.
I love that for you guys.
It was a good time.
That was a little.
Well, everybody.
Sweet. It was a little sweet.
It was a little.
Yeah, it was fun.
Real
All right,
tender.
everybody. We will see you guys tomorrow. We have Rohan Nadkardi of Sports Illustrated coming on the program to talk about his band piece, and I'm sure Ro has a lot to say about what the fuck's going on with the team. So look forward to Ro tomorrow. He confirmed with me today, so we're looking forward to that. Hangover time on Wednesday. There may or may not be footage of me dancing at the wedding. So if you guys wanna, we're gonna have some fun, some fun moments, some pictures from Christian's wedding that a lot of us went to, some local people down here, and everything. And Heat Thunder. That's let's see Shy and them boys, as Stephen A would say. And we'll talk to you guys. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow, and we look forward to the next week content. Enjoy your holidays. Hug your family. Be safe. Mask up. Don't get the flu or COVID. And bye.
Or MERS.
Yeah, God, that shit's scary.
Or RSVP.
What
is it?
Too much shit. Camel flu, whatever the fuck they're calling it. Everybody
I'm just naming shit.
Be safe.
RSVP.
Hit up my website. I got all the herbs. Herbs have BBA.
Mom, plug your shit before we go. Last thing before we get out.
Cold and flu season. Like, you do natural things. You do herbs. Hit me up. herbsavvyva.com. That's my people's. And then, I'm on the timeline doing the things that I do there. And then Hoopstresses.
Link will be in the description of the YouTube and pod. Take care, y'all.
Boom.